Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin. We're talking about the issues that emanate from Montgomery County and beyond. How are you doing? You better be doing all right. It's Friday. It's Friday. Got a Miller Lite, and I'm ready to talk to the people. That's right. Last week I heard myself sing, and I liked it. So you're going to hear more singing on this program. That's what it's about. If you have an opinion, give me a call. Phone number 646-25. Oh, no. This is not an opinion program, meaning it's not your opinion. I don't want to hear your opinion because there are too many opinions out there between Twitter and Instagram. Boy, all you got to need is two thumbs and an idiot brain. What am I talking about? Here's more evidence that Instagram and Twitter makes opinions too easy to share. You know how I feel. Opinions to the letters to the editor. Got to get a stamp. You got to write it. You got to put some thought into it. You got to have a real instead of a knee-jerk reaction. Got to have something real. Got to be committed to it. But Jessica Simpson, you remember her? She's getting backlash after posting on Instagram an ad in support of Gonna Need Milk campaign. This is the new one from the Milk the Dairy Association. So anyway, she wrote on the bottom of her thing, she's got a glass of milk. She's all ready to go. She goes, "Milk, it does a body good," she wrote in the caption. And many commenters disagreed. "Not really. Milk is the worst beverage humans can drink." One person wrote, "Milk is actually pretty bad for our bodies," and so forth and so forth and so forth. Oh my God. Seriously, do we not have anything else to do? I don't give a damn about your opinion anymore. I want people silenced. You know what? Let's get Trotsky. Let's get Animal Farm. Come on. I want people silenced because it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time to go back and forth on Instagram and Twitter and all of this kind of stuff, just giving your opinion about if you disagree with something. I don't care anymore. And that's what's going to happen. That's going to be the backlash, that people are not going to care. If you're going to fight and argue everything, innocuous milk stuff. "Oh, it does a body good." "No, it doesn't. It actually is very harmful. I'm lactose intolerant. I need to share my opinion with you." I don't want to hear your opinion anymore. And the irony is, right, this program is all about my opinions. It's all about it. But I sit down here, I write something up, I got to get on Spreaker, I got to pay something, I got to get on the platform for podcasting. I have to make an effort. This is my effort, and that's what I'm doing. I send out the programs, which I don't understand. You should just be subscribing. Come on now, just subscribe already. Get it into your inbox. Let it be done. But this, it's work for me to do this, which is fine. I enjoy it. I truly enjoy it. It's not a knee-jerk reaction. I have to think my thoughts through. I don't have the two thumbs and "You suck, Jessica, because you like milk." It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And you know what? It just creates anger, confusion, bitterness. That's what it does. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's wonderful. We have the information age." Yeah, I'm all for it. I appreciate it. Look up some things on the information superhighway. I'm down with that. But now it just opens up the voice to people who shouldn't have a voice. And you say, "Well, that's anti-American." Maybe so. Maybe so. But why should we let the idiot speak all the time? The idiot is the idiot for a reason. He's been labeled the idiot for a reason. But no. We will let the idiots speak. And everything I read, you post a comment, this, that, the other thing. Someone's got to put something up and someone gets into a fight over everything. My son does this. And I tell him, "You're a schmuck, kiddo. I love you to death." He's like, Dad, I really had to argue some people down on Discord or on Reddit. And I'm like, why? Why? That's time you'll never get back. You will never, ever get it back. And that's a big problem. It really is, because you're arguing with people that you shouldn't even be talking to. It's not elitism or anything to that effect. It's just that you're a schmuck. The person is a schmuck. Enough. And no matter what you write, they're going to come back with something else, and it just keeps going. It just keeps going. You touch, you're it. Touch black, no backs. That's what it's about. And it is so damn annoying. And people, all of us, just get sucked into it. Sucked into it. Because we have nothing better to do. Because it's too easy. It's too easy. 2 thumbs and just anger. We got to get over this. We got to get over it. We got to get over it. Put your phone down. Go to the window. Open it up and yell, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I am not going to take it anymore. Enough of that. Let's move to the government section of the program. All I got to tell you is impeachment means nothing anymore. The word impeached, the act to impeach, the vote for impeachment. If you don't have the votes, don't do it. Do not do it. Just had Mayorkas, right? I forgot his cabinet position. You know Mayorkas. So anyway, he escaped impeachment. They wanted to get him out of office, and everybody says the same argument. It will set a bad precedent. It will set a bad precedent. Well, how about we not have the impeachment hearings at all? Because it's always setting a bad precedent. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's too easy now. It used to be a serious accusation. You were not doing something. You were a criminal. You were committed wrong to this country. Impeachment meant something. Now it means nothing. It's empty and hollow. It's a stage act just for people to yell and scream some more. You know, I mean, Congress, right? That just, you sucked us up at the border, which is true. You know, there's malfeasance going on. But again, somebody wrote and said they did have a good point. It goes, yeah, he's incompetent, but he's just acting out on the orders of the administration. You know, we're going to get rid of him and who's going to come in. And it's just one of those things. We don't want to set a bad precedent. Well, the precedent's been set because you're angry at somebody. You're annoyed at somebody. You don't like how it's going. Well, impeach him. Democrats impeaching Donald Trump. Republicans, just because it's a quid pro quo. You did it to us. We're going to do it to you when we have the chance. And it's just empty. Things that used to have meaning, used to have teeth, used to have depth. No depth anymore. Now it's just a flung around term. Oh, we'll impeach him. Well, obviously it doesn't work because you don't get the votes. So you'll just do the act of impeaching. You'll go through the process, the hearings, etc., just to get yourself reelected, to get out there on the Twitter and the Instagram, to have your 30-second soundbite. You're a tough senator. You're a tough congressperson. Done with that. I'm done with that. The other thing, too, I was reading a headline the other day. It says, fact check. Trump makes false claims about Iraq, Iran, and Nikki Haley in new Fox interview. I just took the headline, all right? I didn't read the story. I just took the headline because I'm sort of sick of it. But I took the headline for the simple fact that it doesn't matter what the facts are anymore. You could just say whatever you want to say, even if it gets debunked in the press the day after or whatever. It's out there because we're so conditioned to listen to stuff like that. Oh, did you hear what he said? Oh, yeah. Well, Donald Trump, I used to think he was smarter than he was. All right. And the reason I say this, Trump is, I understand that he doesn't need to debate anybody. I get that. I mean, and strategy wise, everyone would tell him it's like Apollo Creed against Rocky. Don't get in a street fight with this guy, right? Tank there, Apollo's, and rest in peace, Carl Weathers. I mean, that hit me pretty hard. Him and Toby Keith upset me. It upset me. But anyway, the trainer for Apollo Creed saying, stay away from him. This guy's a clown. What do you give him a chance for? What are you giving him a chance? So I get that strategy with the debates. But Trump just says whatever he wants. Whenever he wants. Failing New York Times. This, that. You just sound bites. And everybody falls for it. And there's a portion of America. And the problem with that portion of America is that they just dig in. You can't educate them. You can't talk to them about certain things. They just dig in because now it's your liberal elitism, which is true. It is your liberal elitism because I go on Facebook and every time Donald Trump has to pay money to Jean Carroll, or whoever, people are on there. Oh, they got him good. Yay. Trump sucks. It's like your hate of Trump just emboldens him. Why don't you understand that? How about you get some indifference towards Trump? In terms of just making your life goal to take him down. It just digs in. I'm not saying we can't ignore him, and you can't ignore him because he was ignored, and look what happened. Because he was the only one, even though he is not even close to the people he speaks to. But he was the only one speaking to them. You know, what did I say last week? It's like having people in the desert drinking the sand because they think it's water. I botched the line from American President, but that's what it is. I mean, you see people in glee. Seriously, just in glee over Trump anytime Trump gets beat down on something. I don't like Donald Trump. I told you, I used to think he was smarter than he was, you know, and then all of his hotels and the bankruptcies and this and that and the other thing. You know, he was a player. And he played the game, and he could have walked away into the sunset. And he could have, you know, and you talk about wanting to make yourself king. Instead of contesting the last election, he could have come back and said, we're taking it back. We're going to be stronger. Instead of all of this election fraud nonsense, I mean, he really played himself. He played himself in a very bad way. But this thing about Trump, he can also say whatever he wants to say, and people are going to believe it. And that is just bad news. Because there's so much going against him, as I said, that people don't know what's real and what's not real anymore. We're doing it. We're getting to that point where the truth is blurred from either side. So I don't want to hear it's like, oh, yeah, Republicans, you're the ones blurring the truth. No, it's you Democrats too, all right? And the liberals and the progressives and the hardline conservatives. Enough. And what's this setting up to? I just read something before I came on air. On air. I'm on a podcast. I'm on air. Got a high opinion of myself. But I just read something that Larry Hogan, the former governor of the state of Maryland, the old line state or the free state, right? But the old governor is going to run for Senate. He didn't want to. He did not want to be a senator. I understand it. Once you're a governor, you don't want to be a senator. You're the man, and now you just want a 50. So, or 100, excuse me. You know, but I think he changed his mind because he saw who he was running against. There was no strong Republican candidate inside the state of Maryland. And he's running against David Trone and somebody else. And its funny part is David Trone, this guy who is the congressman for my area. And talk about gerrymandering. This is the greatest part. David Trone, in his last election, or the one before this one, was my congressman down here in North Potomac, Maryland, and Potomac. He's from Potomac. And the way they gerrymandered it to get rid of the Republican base is that he was the congressperson for down here, Montgomery County, all the way up to Western Maryland, where the F-150 is the truck of choice. So that's how they balanced out Western Maryland. So we'll have a lot of Democratic voters downstate and there is nothing. We go up to Deep Creek Lake, we got a place up there, we share with somebody, and so we're up there. And there is nothing and nobody and anything that is in common with the Bruce down here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like up there and down here. I live in both spots at certain times of the year. Or I visit one spot and live down here. Nothing is in common. There's nothing holding it in common. But our congressman has this swath. And so whatever they're saying up there doesn't play for me down here. And whatever they're saying down here doesn't play for me up there. This gerrymandering is just out of control. I mean, it's not even funny. Even my kids are like, whoa, what the hell is happening? How is the guy the congressman for us down here, 200 miles away, and also up here? Doesn't make sense. Well, when you want to draw a district and limit people's powers legally somehow, some way, that's how it works. And when every time the party who's not in power gets in power, that's what happens. They change the lines. But anyway, Larry Hogan's running for Senate. I'm all for it. I actually signed up today to say, what can I do to help you? I liked him as a governor because he played that nonpartisan role, but now he's getting attacked because he's a Republican. He's going to change the vote in Congress or in the Senate. He's going to change attack abortion. You know, he got a chance to sidestep the issues, and that's what I liked about him. He goes, this abortion law is written in the law already. This is when he was still governor before it got overturned. He goes, it's written in the law. What am I going to say about it? Why should I give an opinion on it? And I agree with that. It's already in the law. You know, another smart play. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on your pocketbook issues. The state of Maryland gives me money back. Talked about that last week. That's how I knew my taxes were wrong. The state of Maryland was giving me money back. Whether it was smoke and mirrors or whatever, I don't know. I guess we'll find out with Wes Moore now. We'll find out what this year brings. But last year I got money back because of Wes Moore was still the governor. I don't know if that was Larry Hogan, holdover. But the point being here is this guy is just about the pocketbook. And then David Trone, the millionaire from Total Wine. He owns Total Wine with his brother or whatever. And this guy's saying, well, Larry Hogan's a career politician. There isn't an office that David Trone hasn't run for in my area. He ran for a seat in Congress. He lost. Now he ran for another seat in Congress. Then he switched districts to run for a seat in Congress. And now he's running for Senate. So he spent 6 years in Congress. So come on. All right, because you would have spent 8 years if you got elected in the first year. And you're talking about Larry Hogan being a career politician? Right here with that. Bipartisan, no, not bipartisan, a partisan. Oh, shut up. Talk about partisan. You are so partisan. Democrats don't even see their face through the front of their hand or whatever. Partisan politics. I mean, that's a Republican term, right? That's what the Republicans get labeled with. Partisan politics is a Democratic ploy. If you're not a Democrat, I don't even want you to knock on my door. And I've experienced that, so I don't even want to hear it anymore. I don't even know why I'm upset about this kind of stuff. I had that kind of week. I don't feel good. I've been a little bit depressed. And you know what the wall of annoyance, the word of annoyance is? It was everything this week. Everything and anything annoyed me. I must have cursed out 9,000 people under my breath. Under my breath. Not to their face. I wasn't rude to them. But, I mean, I'm on the car and this guy cuts me off. F you. Yeah, I know. I might as well just say the word. But you know what I'm saying. Everybody. To everybody. Very, very frustrating. I didn't find any joy. I did not see the happiness. I could not feel the happiness in my week this week. I like speaking like Mario Tremblay. I could not feel the happiness. But anyway, what's the theme of the week so far? Oh, here maybe this is something that we could put on the wall of annoyance. College football. And why is that, Bruce? Because college football, state schools. Oh, Bill O'Brien from Ohio State. He was a coach at Penn State. He was a coach under Bill Belichick. He coached the Houston Texans, etc. Ohio State hired him as an offensive coordinator last year. I mean, that's a pretty good hire, right? Okay, so he leaves to go to Boston College. At least that's what the puzzle that I see. He's leaving to go to Boston College. I get it. He wants to be a head coach again. So what does Ohio State do? They go take UCLA's coach, Chip Kelly, who was a pro coach with the Eagles, who was out at Notre Dame, I believe. Maybe he was also up in Oregon. I don't know. I don't follow anything but the SEC anyway. So anyway, Ohio State hires the head coach from UCLA to be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Why am I so upset by this? Is it because you hate Ohio State, Bruce? I hate the fact that a state school is paying coaches more than everybody. I know football is a revenue generator and all this kind of stuff, but guess what? Now that you got to really share the revenue with the players, with this nil and all of this kind of stuff, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a state school. I don't want to pay taxes so Chip Kelly can be my coach. If I lived in Ohio, if I lived in Cincinnati or somewhere away from Ohio State, I'd be pissed off. Jim Harbaugh, right? They're like, Michigan couldn't compete with the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh was still going to make $12 million a year instead of, I don't know what he's making, $20 million as the Chargers coach. He's still going to make $15 million a year as the Michigan coach, as a state employee. The highest state paid employee shouldn't be the football coach. And I like football. I enjoy it. Actually, I think football's a stupid game, but I do enjoy watching it. I used to enjoy sports so much more when you thought you could play them. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it was like, I was talking to my brother, actually, and I was like, you remember back in the day when we thought we could play in the NHL? Like back in 1976? Now it's like, forget it. Forget it. I couldn't even sniff the NHL. I'm lucky to buy a ticket. But back in the day, you thought you could play. But not anymore. Not anymore. And that's the thing with football. I mean, these guys are so big and so strong, and all they do is just run into each other. Nobody tackles anymore. You want safety in the game? Somebody should learn how to tackle instead of just trying to take someone's head off. All they do is expose themselves to concussions and to pain. Tackling used to be an art. Now it's not. Now it's like, oh, let's go for the legs. Let's throw our head and shoulder at anybody. And you wonder, and 6 guys are doing it, and you wonder why there are collisions and concussions. I've mentioned this before, but this is a setup. Get very annoyed at medical bills because they do not itemize them. They just send them to you. And then I had a friend, Adam. I was talking to him the other day, and he had a very, very funny line. He goes, you ever get one of those bills from the medical center or whatever? It says, this is not a bill. And then you look at it, and you're like, I sure hope, damn, it's not. I sure hope it's not. Because you're like, oh, not a bill. It better not be. I can't afford that. It was very funny. But you got to itemize medical bills so I know what I'm paying because they keep sending the same damn bill. I don't know. I don't know. So the theme of the week is expenses. It's just funny to hear. I was listening to Travis Kelce the other day. And this is another thing. It's like the press. Oh, the Travis Kelce haircut. He's got to go out and defend himself that he didn't invent the fresh fade. The fade. Billy Thompson invented the fresh fade, okay? Billy Thompson from Bon Air Avenue in New Rochelle invented the fresh fade. He also invented the Stray Cats haircut. He talked to Brian Setzer, says, look at my hair. You should copy that. I don't know where it was invented, but it was a black thing, an African-American thing. They sliced it upside. I used to get the fresh fade, too, before Kelce, all right? I'm 56. Kelce's 32. So the fresh fade, the fade has been around for a long, long time. But, cultural appropriation, blah, blah, blah. It's the way he wants his hair cut. He didn't invent it. He's coming out and say he didn't invent it, so lighten up. But anyway, this is also what he said. Travis Kelce says it's costing him a fortune to have friends and family at the Super Bowl. I mean, he's got to pay for all his tickets. You know, all these suites and stuff. Let's have it in Las Vegas. So, I mean, how rich do you have to be? I mean, Travis Kelce's rich. And it's costing him a small fortune. Not a small fortune, costing him a fortune is what he said, to get everybody into the stadium that he wants to see him play in his 3rd Super Bowl or 4th Super Bowl to win a 3rd ring. He wants people there. This isn't like an extravagance. He wants friends and family there. That's why you play, so your friends and family can see you play. I mean, what was it, a $2 million? How? I don't even know what it was. But what the cost of the boxes, the cost of the tickets, it's... Forget about it. You know what I was saying there the whole week? Right there. That's what I'm saying again. Because it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's also a thing that there was another article talking about the wealthy are cutting the line at the airport, Disney World, and ski resorts. Because you're able to pay these fast pass fees and all this stuff. The first class and the boarding class and all of this kind of stuff. This is where the class war is going to start. I am not struggling. Maybe I am. A little bit. Prices have gone up exponentially, so things are tougher for me, but I'm not struggling. I can still eat, okay? You know, I'm not being a wise ass here. I think food insecurity is a real issue, but I'm not being a wise guy here. But I am aware of where my money goes. But all of this kind of stuff at the airport, that's where I saw it the first time. I mean, the first class and the boarding rights, and if you pay extra, you get extra privilege. I understand it's a business and it's capitalism and all of this kind of stuff, but that's where the class war is going to start. Once the people who have a little bit of money and don't have to worry about where their next food is coming from, that's where it starts. Because it's like, what makes you better than me? You're just laying out dollar bills. Now you're spreading the class system in between people who should be on the same socioeconomic platform or close to it. Now you're letting people flex, as my son would say. They're flexing. They're flexing their dollar bills to cut in line at the airport and Disney World. I mean, doesn't that just drive you nuts? You're sitting there for an hour in a line at Disney World and someone's got the fast pass because they literally spent another $1,000 or something to that effect. It's like, okay, then just close the park. Do what Elvis did. Just close it down and go at night. That's and then the other thing too, this is funny. Because we talked about McDonald's, right? And I'm not the only one telling you about McDonald's getting expensive. You know, there was an article saying amid backlash over an $18 Big Mac meal, McDonald's will focus on affordability in 2024. Thank you. I mean, the key to McDonald's, but this is what I also don't get. They're talking about how people are not going into McDonald's, but they also made a lot of money based on the price raising. So they're like, I don't understand. Somebody, didn't have a good year, but their inflation, they made a lot of money, but they didn't have a good year. I don't get it sometimes. Where is the cutoff for good and bad? Seriously, I don't get it. I mean, McDonald's made money this year. At least that's the article we read a couple weeks ago on the air, isn't it? But now, they're worried. But they're going to focus on affordability. This is what the CEO of McDonald's had said. Eating at home has become more affordable. The battleground is certainly with that low-income consumer. And that's what McDonald's thrives on, is the low-end consumer. I mean, that was the whole thing. Kids are getting fat at McDonald's because it's cheaper to eat there than anywhere else. Now it's not. Now you're going to, I don't get it. I don't get it. He says that they're going to told analysts on an earnings call that the restaurant chain will focus on affordability this year after the company took some heat for price increases that have not gone unnoticed by customers. Of course it didn't go unnoticed, because you went to McDonald's and your bill is like $22 for 3 people. You're like, whoa, I didn't come to McDonald's for this. And now, seriously, the cheeseburger deluxe at the Nourishell Diner looks a lot more appealing and is a lot more filling than a Big Mac, large fries, and a Diet Coke. That onion ring that you're getting, I mean, it's $2 more, but that onion ring that you're getting and the coleslaw and the pickle, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it, because you're going to get out of there and say, oh, I feel good, man. I'm full. McDonald's, you're like, you buy a Big Mac meal and then you start searching the $2-3 menu to say, what else can I get? Trying to eat on the cheap. And the reason it's a theme is because I went out today, got the dog a haircut, right? I'm a new dog owner. I inherited a dog. Hooray for me. But, all right, I understood that expense. Take the dog in. The dog needs to be treated. It's a living animal. He needs what he needs. I'm going to get him what he needs, okay? I wouldn't normally have a pet, wouldn't really want a pet, but I have one. So we're going to treat the pet with respect and care. It was my dad's dog. We're going to love the dog. You know it. Good old Biscuit. He's a good dog. He's become a lot nicer. Doesn't have to protect my dad anymore. So he's like, okay, you guys were nice to me. I'll be nice to you. But anyway, so drop the dog off, but I got to get a haircut and I got to get a car wash. $33 for the car wash plus the tip. They deserve the tip on this one. This was my dad's car. I was taking it in, really needed a cleaning. So I have no problem with the tip. It's not, but $33 for the car wash, for the standard car wash. And the guy's like, he comes in, he gives me the tisk. He starts sucking his teeth. He's like, I don't know, that car's dirty, man. That car's dirty. Looks like you should get the $60. $60 to wash my car? I'm serious. I mean, I rolled up that window and I was like, $60 to what are you doing to my car? It's the car is a Mitsubishi Eclipse. You know what? Clean it out, do the best you can, and then I'll go in there and I'll finish it up. $60, $33, and then $60 for the extra deluxe. And I'm thinking today, it used to be in the old days, you take out a bucket and some Armor All, and one of your vacuums from home and you cleaned out your car. Now it's totally worth it. It is totally worth it to do it at the house. But now you're cleaning or ruining the ground system because soapy water's getting into the sewer system and running into our ponds. I get it, can't do either or. But $33 for a car wash. It's a lot of money, man. And then they're trying to get me to join the club. Take a walk. Here's your club. Club you over the head is your club. So I go to the haircutters. Haircutters, I mean, there's another place. I mean, I guess they have to, because I don't understand how these guys make their margins, how they are able to pay their rent sometimes. I mean, I guess the haircut, I don't know what a haircut costs, the true cost of a haircut, $3, $2, maybe. And now you got to spend $25 for it. And I'm at the cheap place. I just drove around today because I'm in a haircutter triangle. It's like a Seinfeld episode for me. I used to go to this guy, Kevin. And he was cutting my hair. He was cutting my boy's hair. And then my dad went to this lady, Sue, and their chairs are like right next to each other. But Kevin is off on Wednesday. No, Sue is off on Wednesdays, and Kevin is off on Thursdays. So I was screwed because I've been going to Sue. If this gets out to them, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. But I was going to Sue on Thursdays. So I couldn't go today because Sue and Kevin would be like, oh, Bruce, welcome. I'm like, who do I choose? That's right. I'm weak. I got weak. I can't make a choice on that one. So I went to some barber somewhere else, $24. I mean, the costs were the same, but then you put in a tip or whatever, $25. You know, these are people living on tips as well. So you, for as much as you go, the tip is worth it, right? But it's just like, oh my God, $60, $70, poof, poof, poof. Then I was eyeing that McDonald's on the way home because I wanted egg McMuffin, sausage egg McMuffin, which is not on the dollar. It's not on the cheap menu. You can't get the 2-for-1s on that in the deals. For some reason, sausage is the most expensive thing they have, so they will not give it to you. But you can get an egg McMuffin with ham. Explain that one to me, Mr. CEO of McDonald's. So anyway, I went home, had some eggs and a muffin. But the point being, you go out. It's like just little things are tap you dry. They will tap you dry. I don't even know about escrow. I'm the angry old man. Program's called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin. We do this pretty much every Friday now. You know, now that I'm back, I came down here. I got somewhere to go, so I'm trying to get this program out early. But I enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, send me an email, brucenice@yahoo.com or Bruce Negrin Radio. I forgot what the other one is. It's well, let's find out what it is. Oh, let's see. To Bruce Negrin Radio at yahoo.com. How about that? Bruce Negrin Radio at Yahoo. All I get is spam on that one. But anyway, program's called Outside Looking In. I'm Bruce Negrin. I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. Have a great weekend. And we will talk to you soon. I'm trying to find a song to get out here. I'm not going to play Eric today, but I don't know where to get it. Sunday Papers, nah. World Upside Down, no, there it is. Let the Idiot Speak by the Old 97s. Check it out.
Up on the hillside, our love was made almost entirely downside. Who would have thought it could feel so much better?